This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, where we share the stories of our favorite local brands. Today, joining me is Leah Stine with Vision Reading Academy. Leah, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm excited for this episode. You and I go way back, and I've actually interviewed you before, so I am ready to dive in. Share with us a little bit about Vision Reading Academy.
So Vision Reading Academy is not my business. The owner is Crystal, and she started it after going through all these different steps to try to find a way to help her daughter read. It's just something wasn't meshing. And, it just was to the point where she was just trying everything and anything and discovered the way of getting all the muscles and your eye muscles and all the things to work together so that it could help. So my son went through the program because he was going into 5th grade, couldn't read, and we couldn't figure out why. I mean, I homeschooled him, so I had, all the time and the energy to spend on it, but nothing was working. We started over. We changed curriculums. We tried everything. I was about to go get a dyslexia diagnosis to try to see if that was it. But unfortunately, dyslexia diagnoses are based mostly on reading. And can't read, a lot of times they're automatically, okay, well, they're dyslexic. So luckily I came across this program instead. And within within 5 months, he went from kindergarten reading level to 6th grade reading level.
Wow.
He's done. He doesn't ever have to do it again because his eyes are working how they're supposed to be working.
Really?
Yep. So we're not vision therapy because we're not medical. We're not anything like that because we work on the whole muscles, all the things like they do. Like part of their exercises is they do massages and pressure points and different reading exercises and gaze point exercises where they have to watch certain things that they do. It's been amazing for us. It was life-changing for us. So when she was like, hey, I'm going to expand my business. Would you be interested in becoming a coach? I was like, yes, please. So that's how it started. And I love it.
That is fascinating. So you can dive into a little bit of, I guess, the science of it, how your eyes have to do with your reading. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
So you probably don't know this. Most people don't. I didn't. Each eye, to control your eye muscle, like there's 7 muscles in each eye. So there's 14 muscles that have to work together to make you see correctly, to get your eye movement to work correctly, for all those things. Plus there's also tension that runs all the way through these nerves, all the way through your head and your fascial system. So everything's connected. And by loosening up those muscles and those nerve endings and the muscle attach, like where they attach, all of it works together. So it's not just, okay, here, go look at these things. And it's all the things have to be done together.
Okay.
So
with your son, as an example, when he was going through the exercises, how did that correlate to reading?
So, okay, think about if you're looking at a word, okay, let's just use cat, for example, okay? He was using so much energy to get his eyes to go like this and focus on that letter, the C to sound out k, the A to go ah, the T to go. So that when he saw the whole word, it wasn't a word, it was just these letters, but he couldn't really see them correctly because he had to look at each letter individually.
Wow.
So it took so much energy for his eyes to even go together. Like when we did his assessment, it was crazy because like one of the things we do is we just go like this and they have to look at the tip, and one eye just wouldn't move. It didn't even follow the tip. And we're like, are you looking at it? He's like, yeah, I'm looking at it.
Wow.
He thought he was looking at it, so he saw all along this way. He's never known anything different. So how would he know that it's size? We went to an ophthalmologist. That was one of the things that we did before, like when we first started the journey. And they're like, nope, his eyes look great. He has 20/20 vision.
Wow.
So like, it's not even something they look for.
Yeah.
because they don't, it's
Mm-hmm.
not as enough well known. And a lot of times the other diagnoses take over and they're
Mm.
like, oh, that's it, So it was definitely
Interesting.
a game changer for us. I mean, he couldn't even see graph paper. Like I didn't know it, but I'm like, put
Mm-hmm.
your numbers in the squares, I mean, I even enlarged it. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, okay. And he thinks he's doing it because in his mind, he's doing it.
Right.
And it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And like when his eyes were working better, I gave him graph paper again. And he's like, oh, that's graph paper.
Wow.
That's what you meant by put it in the squares. Like
Wow.
he couldn't even see it. And here I am like, why aren't you doing it? You know? And he
He's
just went,
probably like a different kid.
yeah.
Like
I
his
mean,
confidence and
oh,
everything. He's
and
probably
it goes through all my students. I mean, I have
wow.
an older student he just turned 15 and he couldn't read three-letter words. And
Mm-hmm.
like, he struggled very badly with kind of attitude in our sessions, things like that. But I'm like, okay, this is part of it. Unfortunately, we get the broken kids. We get the kids
Mm-hmm.
who are broken. They've been beat down because they haven't been able to read. They don't know what's wrong with them. Their
Mm-hmm.
parents don't know what's wrong with them. They think
Yeah.
something's wrong with them, and it's not something wrong with them. It's easily fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And so by this point, they're broken and they're struggling, and their confidence is shot. And
Mm-hmm.
like the turnaround from him is just amazing. He's been with me
Wow.
for 4 months, I think, and like he gets on the sessions, he participates, he's you know happy to be there, he's
Mm-hmm.
nice, and like it's like that little bit of confidence changes everything for them.
Yeah. What important work you're doing and how satisfying and just rewarding for you to be able to be a part of that transformation. That's so cool.
You just don't even know. I'm about to start crying because it's like
Ah,
so emotional to me because like
yeah.
if we wouldn't have found it, I mean, he probably still wouldn't be able to read.
Yeah.
And same for my son. I mean, I have a student, my first student graduating probably next month. I have other students who were like, I mean, I have these two brothers and they were just they didn't want to do it. They were fighting with mom every day. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can read fine. I don't need this. I'm fine. I don't need it. And we do benchmarking videos to record like just snippets of them reading.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, like I said, they were fighting mom. We're like, okay, let's make a deal. We'll try it for 1 month. If you do your
Mm-hmm.
exercises every day and you really try and put in your effort and your energy, then in a month we'll reevaluate and see where we're
Mm-hmm.
at and see if you believe it or not believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So I showed them their benchmarking videos and both of them jaws dropped and they were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I
Wow.
missed that word. I can't believe I missed that, and I thought
Mm-hmm.
I was reading it correctly. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So like, and you
Wow.
don't know because the progress is slower.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an immediate thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how are parents learning about what you're doing? How are they finding you?
Word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all of our students are by just people who know people who've done the program, or we accept a lot of scholarships. Like the owner actually lives in Utah,
Mm-hmm.
so there's like a Utah fits all scholarship. So we're part of their network, and
Mm-hmm.
Open Ed, which is another one. The Virginia one that's no longer available, they were part of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's a good way too, is to get the word out.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like ophthalmologists and pediatricians need to be trained too.
Right. Well, unfortunately, we have ophthalmologists don't like what we do because we're
Mm.
fixing them.
Oh, I see.
Fortunately, there are some
Right.
that are very open to it and are like, well, that's great, but then there
Mm-hmm.
are some that feel threatened and
Right.
not even fair because honestly, we're just helping the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Wow. So, what advice would you give parents who, they're thinking, well, my kid is struggling, what is maybe some signs that this might work for their child?
if you think they're dyslexic, if you
Mm-hmm.
start seeing those signs, they're flipping their letters, they're flipping their numbers, they're writing funky, like up and down, they're not on the line.
Mm-hmm.
They skip lines when they read. They read the same thing over and over again, have no idea what they read.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they potentially could, well, most of my students context fill. So they make it up as they go. They make
Mm.
up the story of what they think it should say.
Right.
They change the endings of words. So even if they are a good reader, they change the endings of words. I mean, like I have one student who's a very good reader. Like he's actually reads pretty well. But he he removes S's from the end of words and he adds S's. And then he flips the whole sentence to make it make sense with or without that S.
Mm.
So,
Interesting.
and they don't even know they're doing it.
Right.
So those are like the big key things
Mm-hmm.
is, just not knowing where to go from here. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
thing. We have free assessments. So it's like no harm, no foul. Like
Right. Nice.
try it, and we will definitely not lie and be like, oh yeah, that's the problem. Like you can see
Mm-hmm.
it. Like you can see it yourself. We always say, okay, mom, look at what we're doing. And
Yeah.
turn to mom, show her what your eye's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can like literally see it. And so there's no way to like be shysty about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good that you're able to assess someone and get pretty good data that whether or not the program would work for them. That's
Yeah.
actually really big.
Yeah. And it's a lot of commitment. I mean, the kids have to be committed because it's not like just going and getting glasses that they just have to
Mm-hmm.
put on every day. They have
Right.
to do their eye exercises. They have to do the reading exercises. The more they do it, the quicker they go through the program,
Mm-hmm.
and once they're done, we want them to be gone. We don't want to ever see them again. The only time
Right.
we want to see them is when they're saying, hey, look, I got into this college, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
we want to celebrate their wins, but we want to push them out, get them on their way because this is a fix. It's not
Mm-hmm.
anything they'll have to do again.
Right. Well, that's amazing that it's a fix. That's
Right.
huge. That it's not something that they have to live with for the rest of their lives. Like,
No.
that's pretty awesome.
Exactly.
What is something that you wish the listeners knew about Vision Reading Academy?
Just that it exists,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, because it's so, like I said, it's word of mouth, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody knows about it. And if you don't know about it, you're just sitting there again and again, twiddling your thumb saying, why is my kid doing so bad in school? Why are they not getting it? Why
Mm-hmm.
is, they might not be able to read that great, but why are they suffering in history? Because
Mm-hmm.
it all goes together,
Right.
all of it. In every
Mm-hmm.
subject, there's reading, there's writing. And if they can't read, they can't write. If they can't see things correctly, they can't do any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they already feel really bad,
Yeah. I
and
bet.
they're sorry, I'm gonna get a little upset. Because it's heart-wrenching to think about what these kids feel. Like
Yeah.
my son, like at the first birthday after we started the program, he was like, Mom, it felt so good to be able to read my birthday cards.
Mm.
I mean,
Oh.
like I didn't even know it was a thing. Like I didn't even know that was like that's something he felt.
Right. Right.
And like we
Mm-hmm.
played Monopoly and he was like, let me read your card. Let me read your card. Let me read your card. Like he's grabbing
That's so
everybody's
cool.
cards. Right. It's like, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that was a thing that he cared about, but
Right.
clearly it was hurting his heart, that
Yeah.
he couldn't do these things. And yeah.
Mm.
So
Well, what you're doing is so important. So thank you for sharing it with us.
yeah. Thank you for having me. It's
Yeah.
so important. I love it. I just love
Hmm.
all of it.
If the listeners want to reach out to you or learn more about Vision Reading Academy, what's the best way for them to find you?
Well, I can share my link for an assessment. They
Okay.
can email me. I don't know if you want me to verbalize that or if you want to write.
I can put it all in the show notes if it's,
Okay.
yeah, a link that they can click on.
Yeah. So it just, Coach Leah at visionreadingacademy.com.
Okay.
Pretty easy.
Perfect.
And the website is visionreadingacademy.com. And they have, there's a AI bot on there that can answer additional questions if there's
Okay.
something in particular that they're looking for.
Hmm.
And yeah, and we try to keep the prices low so that, we're not trying to get a vacation home. We are just trying to help kids
Yeah.
and keep the business.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Leah, what you're doing is so important. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today and sharing Vision Reading Academy with us.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com. That's fxbgneighborspodcast.com or call 540-534-4618.